Imagine, you check female on your passport application, but then you get it back and it says male.
Wow.
That's what happened to Hunter Schafer.
Oh, wow.
And it happens to a lot of transgender people.
It's a big issue. Yeah.
So we're going to do a deep dive on this.
Okay.
And we're using this article from Soulpin about her experience with the U.S. passport system.
Interesting.
It's really about this whole fight for accurate gender markers on official documents.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge deal.
It's not just a bureaucratic thing.
No, not at all.
It really impacts people's lives.
You're absolutely right. It digs into that, like how these systems actually affect people.
So the article starts off with Hunter Schafer's story. You probably know her from HBO's Euphoria.
Yeah.
She was really open about how disappointed she was when she got that passport.
Yeah.
And it didn't match her gender identity.
Ugh, that's awful.
And it wasn't like a mistake she made.
Right.
She filled everything out correctly.
Wow, so it was like a system problem.
It seems like a system problem.
Yeah. And it's like you said, it's a really good illustration of why these gender markers are so important. It's more than just a piece of paper.
Right.
This is about...
It's your identity.
It is. Yeah. It's about how you live your life.
Right. Like your job.
Yeah.
Travel.
Healthcare. Everything.
Healthcare, yeah.
Could be affected by this.
It could even put people at risk.
Absolutely.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah. I mean, think about it.
Okay.
Traveling with an ID that doesn't match how you look or how you present yourself, that opens you up to discrimination, harassment, even dangerous situations.
Wow.
It's scary.
So the article mentions that in 2021,
the
U.S. State Department changed their policy.
Okay.
So they don't require medical certification anymore for gender marker changes on passports.
That's good. At least that's...
It seems like it's a step in the right direction.
It was a significant step forward.
Okay.
But Schafer's experience shows there's still problems.
There are.
Yeah, systemic problems.
Yeah.
Just changing the policy doesn't automatically mean things will actually change on the ground.
Right. Right. So in reality, it's not actually fixed yet?
Exactly. And the article says a lot of trans people are still running into issues with government agencies.
Like what kind of issues?
Delays, errors.
Oh, God.
And sometimes a lack of understanding from staff.
Wow, that's awful.
It's really frustrating for people.
So the policy is like one step.
It is.
But it's a long road.
Yeah, it's just the beginning of a much longer journey.
Right.
It's not a quick fix.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. Like when you said systemic issues, like I don't really know what that means.
Well, it's kind of a confusing term. But in this case, we're talking about like a whole bunch of systems that are all connected.
Right.
But they don't really talk to each other.
So it's not just one policy. It's like...
It's not just one thing.
A whole web of things.
It's a whole web of policies and procedures and people that are all kind of working in their own little silos.
So like a patchwork.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Right, where like... It's different depending on where you are.
Exactly. Imagine like a trans person applying for a passport in one state.
Right.
And they move.
Right.
The process might be totally different.
Oh, wow.
Different forms, different requirements, maybe even different fees.
Oh, gosh.
All that inconsistency creates huge barrier for people just trying to live their lives.
Right. Just trying to get a passport.
Exactly. It's basic stuff.
Yeah.
But the system makes it so hard.
That's rough. It sounds so frustrating.
It is. It's stressful.
And it's not just the hassle.
No, it goes beyond that.
Right.
The article talks about dignity.
Oh,
that really gets to the heart of it.
Right.
Yeah, having your identity recognized, respected.
Right.
That's fundamental. It's not just about...
Like a box to check.
Exactly. It's not just bureaucratic.
Yeah.
It's how we see each other.
That's a good point.
How we treat each other.
I wonder if this patchwork system affects other areas too.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth thinking about.
Right.
Where else do we see these kinds of inconsistencies?
That's why it's so important to keep questioning things.
Absolutely.
Right? And Hunter Schafer talking about it is a good example of that.
It's great that she's using her platform to raise awareness. The article says her story's gotten a lot of attention.
That's good.
Yeah, from fans, celebrities, LGBTQ plus organizations.
It seems like sometimes it takes a big case like this.
It does.
To get people talking.
You need that visibility to really spark change.
And it's advocacy too, right?
Absolutely.
Like her speaking out.
Yeah. It's powerful.
That's leading to change, hopefully.
Yeah, there are calls for the government to streamline things.
Right.
Get everyone on the same page.
Okay.
And implement inclusive policies.
Okay, so we've talked about the problems, but what about solutions?
Right. Like, how do we actually fix this?
Yeah.
Well, for starters, we need better training for government employees.
Right.
They need the resources to handle these situations with sensitivity and understanding.
What about technology?
Oh, yeah. Technology could be huge.
Like how?
Well, updating the systems could make everything more consistent, more efficient.
Okay.
Imagine if everything was online.
Right.
Standardized.
That would make things easier.
So much easier.
Okay. So where do we go from here?
Yeah, good question.
What are the takeaways?
Well, I think the biggest one is that the fight's not over.
Right.
We've made progress.
Like the State Department thing.
Exactly. That was a win.
Yeah.
But systemic change takes time.
Right.
It takes effort. And we have to keep pushing.
Well, it takes people like Hunter Schafer speaking up.
Exactly. She showed us
how
powerful it can be to use your voice.
And you don't have to be a celebrity.
No, not at all.
To make a difference.
Everyone has a voice.
Right. So how can people get involved?
Well, you can contact your representative. Let them know these issues matter.
Okay. What else?
Educate yourself.
Right.
Learn more about the challenges facing trans people.
And other communities.
Exactly. And support organizations that are fighting for LGBTQ plus rights.
Okay, so like donating.
Yeah, donations, volunteering, it all makes a difference.
It feels overwhelming sometimes.
It can be.
But it's good to know that there are things we can do. Yeah.
Absolutely. And remember, even small actions can have a big impact.
Like what?
Talking to friends and family.
Oh, okay.
Sharing information online. Being an ally to someone who's struggling.
It all adds up.
It creates a more inclusive world.
And it comes back to that empathy and understanding.
Exactly. Seeing each other as human beings with shared experiences.
Right.
That's when real change happens. And it doesn't happen overnight. You know, it's a process. It takes time. It takes effort.
It's kind of daunting.
It can be,
to think like we've come so far, but there's still so much to do.
There's always more work to be done.
It makes you think, how can we make sure that our systems like actually keep up with society changing?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do we adapt to a world that's constantly evolving?
Right. And it's not just this. It's everything, right?
It's about embracing diversity.
Right. In all its forms.
Yeah, in every aspect.
So how do we do that?
The big question.
Where do we even begin?
I think it starts with awareness. Recognizing these issues exist. That they affect real people.
Right.
Once we see the problem, we can start finding solutions.
So what can our listeners do
to help? Well, contact your representatives. Let them know you care.
What else?
Educate yourself.
Right.
Learn about the challenges trans people face. Other communities too.
Okay, and support organizations
absolutely
that are already doing this work.
The ones fighting for LGBTQ plus rights.
Right. So like donate.
Yeah. Donations, volunteering your time.
All of it helps.
It feels like a lot sometimes.
It can be.
But it's good to know you can actually do something.
We all have a role to play.
And you were saying that small actions can add up.
They really can. Like what kind of small actions?
Talking to your friends and family.
Oh, okay.
Sharing info online.
Yeah.
Just being an ally.
Right, to someone who needs it.
Exactly. Yeah. You never know who you might be helping.
It all comes back to that empathy we talked about.
It does. Seeing each other as human. That's what matters.
That's a great point.
And that's how we create change.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For joining us for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
And thanks to all of you for listening.
Yeah, thanks everyone.